Hello and welcome to Pompey Talk in partnership with Jan Leap. My name is Mark McMahon and join me in the studio today to discuss Pompey's 2-1 victory against Newport, his new chief sports writer Neil Allen and his sidekick Jordan Cross.
I thought we were sidekicks in the club that we were wearing today.
I'm not wearing the uniform, am I?
You not get the email? This is the new sports desk.
In the shoes, there we go.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
No, he's wearing green socks, obviously.
Are your lucky green socks?
No, I'll talk about my lucky blue socks in a minute though.
Your lucky blue socks? You normally wear red socks to Pompey games these
Well,
days?
that caused a problem in the past, being attacked for Southampton references, even though Pompey wear red socks themselves. But I've been wearing my lucky blue socks, which are the away kit ones, for a string of about 4 or 5 victories now. Didn't go to the Stevenage game, we get turned over, back in with the blue socks on Saturday.
Oh, we'll have to make sure he's wearing the blue socks for Hartlepool on Saturday, Neil.
Probably need about there though, won't I?
He probably will. Anyway, Neil, back to the game on Saturday. An important win for Pompey, but at the same time too, it was quite a tough victory in the end.
Well, it was comfortable, wasn't it, until about the 76th minute when Samuel pulled one back and then suddenly it was just tense, wasn't it? Pompey were dropping deeper and deeper. You can see Paul Cook trying to get them to move up the pitch, but they would drop deeper and deeper, and they were put under a bit of aerial pressure. And he brought on Jack Watmore, who won some big headers as well late on. And every time he headed the ball away, the crowd cheered. And they held on, but David Ford was immense in those final moments as well. And yeah, it was more difficult than it should have been. Pompey weren't at the best the whole game, but it's about getting the wins, isn't it? And again, results elsewhere all go for Pompey. Suddenly Pompey have extended their lead to 6, isn't it, in that spot? And again, another massive stride towards promotion.
As Neil says, Geordie, it doesn't matter how to get them. It's the 3 points that matters at the end of the day. That's what everybody was looking for.
How do we get there? We don't care.
We don't care.
That's the theme for the end of the season, isn't it? And I think Danny Rose pick up on that afterwards.
Yeah.
And again, Paul Cook referenced that theme, that note in his post-match press conference. So I thought Pompey were dominant, and I was comfortable watching them. They dominated possession and shots. And yeah, I just thought this is easy, going to be an easy watch, and then you realise it's Pompey. So they've got this manner of making things difficult for them, and 76 minutes it was, wasn't it? I mean, there was good opportunities in the first half, and and then Ford comes to the fore with 2 massive stops, one before the goal and one after from Marlon Jackson. The second one in particular, it was kind of almost Schmeichel-esque when he came out kind of spread-eagled, and it was a really big stop. And another thing about Ford as well, which he was signed for, is that Pompey had problems with high balls into the box last season and dealing with set pieces. And there was one moment late on where the corner was pitched up and the bodies were flying forward. He just always comes for it, took the ball, and it just alleviated the pressure, just as much as Jack Watmore did with his heading. Ford was crucial to that as well. So, yeah, look at it now, 6 points of gap, and you're thinking, teams aren't winning around Pompey. It's going to, will it be? Or we're talking about 84 points and 81 points. I don't even know if it'll be 80 points now, the way it's going. I mean, the forms of the team, there's some relegation form amongst the teams that are supposed to be in contention. So, as much as it's there to say really that it's Pompey's to lose now. 6 points of gap.
Okay, and Geordie mentioned David Ford there, Neil. He's been a player that's split up fans' opinions over the course of the season, but now we're actually seeing maybe what Paul Cook actually brought him to the club for.
Who's that? Sorry,
David Ford.
Ford.
I switched off as well.
Yeah.
I'm not
Sorry,
it's just not your habit.
Ford. Yeah, he's tremendous in the air, isn't he? He barely drops anything. He takes responsibility when the ball's pumped into the box. He barges people out of the way, and he rarely ever fumbles it either. He's such a dominant force aerially, commanding his penalty area, which Pompey have missed for a long time. Obviously, we know there's issues with reaction saves, diving to his left, lines onto low down. We know that, but he dominates the penalty area. But again, he pulled off some good saves. That was a great save just before they pulled one back as well, flinging himself to Jackson, wasn't it? The substitute Jackson shot, and he's really come to the fore. In the last month, 2 months, there's been quite a few players that have really risen to this, come to the fore. Naismith, Bennett, Baker, Ford, in addition to Burgess and Clark and Stevens and Evans. It's been superb, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they really are. Since the Crew game, Rose has come into the team as well. What an impact he's made as well.
Again, isn't
they've been superb, Pompey. We had the blip at Stevenage, obviously, but it's been immense now, and they're just showing promotion form.
Jordy, you can't help but feel with Kyle Bennett and Cal Naismith back in the team that the focus all of a sudden turns back to them. That both of them scored. How important are they to this?
Yeah, and that was what I spoke to Paul Cook after the game. I thought a big plus was the attacking players, particularly in the first half. Baker's assist for the goal. I mean, let's talk about that first goal. It was perfect in so many ways. To open up and take, it's just one of my favourite things to see. I like the pass more than the goal, because he's just taken two defenders out of the equation with one incisive rapier through ball. Bennett's timed his run to perfection to break the line, and then it was a confident finish, taken a little bit early, so the keeper couldn't quite set himself. So it was a great goal to enjoy that, and a real plus. And 4 in 4 starts for Benno now as well. So I think that's as Neil was saying, it was in his story, that's the best form of his career. So great. So Cal Naismith, again, what a tale that is for the lad. Transfer listed last summer. It looked like he was well and truly on the way out. His attitude was questioned. He's knuckled down, and who would have thought, he would be that key man that Pompey have really missed, when he is out of the team. 10 goals for the season, and I thought I enjoyed Baker's performance all round as well. He was improving, and at times recently you've had 2 or 3 of those attacking players not step up in games. Yeah. When that happens, Pompey will not get a result, or it will certainly find it difficult because you rely on that. You can get away with 1 doing it, but 2 or 3, it's not going to happen. I thought all 3 turned up at the weekend, and that was key to the success.
Neil, what do you put down Cal Naismith's resurgence to? Obviously, Jordy said he was on the transfer list at the start of the season. Now he's so important to this Pompey team.
Yeah, well, it's strange with Gary Roberts' decline as such. Roberts started the season so well, didn't he? He got Player of the Month as well, deserved. He was outstanding, but he's obviously declined during the season. And Naismith's gone from strength to strength. Paul Cook's put faith in him, or he's convinced Paul Cook to put faith in him in the end. And he's been tremendous, Naismith, isn't he? The amount of times he's come off the bench and influenced things through assists, through goals. And now he's getting running the team, and he's sensational. For me, you cannot replace him in the Pompey team at the moment. He's ideal in that role. Nobody comes close to that role with Naismith, with his movement, his energy. He's got a lovely swagger about him, isn't he? Confidence.
Yeah, swagger.
You see that at Colchester. I thought he was showboating even after 10 minutes. I thought he was superb.
That's how he got his injury the other day against Grimsby. He was juggling it and knocked it over his head, and he felt his hamstring there. But it's great. It's great to watch, isn't it? Because he's a confident lad anyway. What he's been through, no pre-season, trained with the kids in the summer, transfer listed, came back to be top scorer by a couple of goals in the running for Player of the Year. He's been amazing. It's great to see.
It's doing it for a purpose with Cal as well. I mean, I know we talk about the showboating, but it's more for effect. I mean, at times there would be, it gets really frustrating. There'd be one step over too many, or he'd check back when he could get a cross in at the right time. And if you're a forward, I mean, you saw it at one, I don't think it was him, but Connor Chaplin was ready for a ball in at the weekend at one stage, and it took too long for him. I think Gareth Evans, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And he was so frustrated. I mean, it can be immensely annoying as a forward when you make those runs and the guy's just sort of doing a step over out in the wing doing it. You've got to do it for a purpose and have an end product to it. And Cal's doing that more now, and I think that's been a big factor in his resurgence. I think Cook would be on his case for all that. He said that at the end of last season he spent the whole on the final game, the whole of half time. It was like Northampton, wasn't it? He said just beasting him, absolutely ripping into him for his disappointment in his display. He said 10 seconds into the second half he goes and smashes one in from 30 yards. Yeah. You don't need to hopefully do that as much. Maybe the penny's dropping with Cal a bit more, and that's really good news for Pompey with 7 games to go.
Okay, we're waxing lyrical about Naismith and Bennett, but unfortunately at this moment in time, Owen Doyle's not necessarily getting the same plaudits, Neil. He's obviously going to be out for the next couple of weeks. Is that a bad thing for Pompey? Normally at this stage of the season you want your main striker to be
it is a bad thing because who replaces him?
Yeah.
That's the thing. We know about his movement. He creates space for Bennett and Naismith to have opportunities to shoot and attack the opposition. Obviously Owen Doyle's been disappointing since he's arrived, hasn't he? He hasn't scored enough goals. He scored twice. We expected a lot more. Yeah. But you can't fault his effort and commitment, and the fact that he does move around and disrupt defences through that. A case of who goes in there instead of him. Chaplin on his own up front doesn't really work. I know he got a really good assist at the weekend, but generally he doesn't work as the lone striker. So then you're looking at Hunt and perhaps Kabamba, I suppose, aren't you? Kabamba's completely rookie. And Curtis Main's appeared for him, isn't he? So
he's on his way back, isn't he?
Yeah. So who replaces Owen Doyle? Hunt's always done well for me when he's appeared.
I think it might be the way to go at this time. I think the time might be right for him.
Tremendous professional Hunt as well.
Yeah, I mean, the product to get around the place, and when we speak to him, so vibrant. There's not a signal of dissent about not being involved all the time. He's a total opposite, real consummate professional, and Paul Cook references that quite often, perhaps to say, publicly and say it in the press that we do regard what you're doing for us here. But I think it could be the right time. As Neil rightly says, Connor, he can be electric up there, but I mean, he's not really carved out for that sort of doing the stuff perhaps that Owen Doyle does quite well. Owen came in with big hype, and the stats backed up that in League 2 and League 1 his goal record, but he hasn't quite done it, and he won't be happy, because as much as strikers do all that stuff, if they're not sticking the ball in the back of their net, they don't think they're doing their job. So
well, Hunt's played in a system with one up front in the Premier League. He played at Man United once. I mean, talking about early in the season at Old Trafford. So he has played that role before. He knows what it entails. So perhaps it's a chance for him now to come in, and he's waited long enough, and he's made impacts when he's been in the side as well. And obviously he came into the side at Stevenage out of the blue. And for me, he was far better than Owen Doyle, but he was one brought off, well ahead of Doyle. So why not look at Noah Hunt?
Okay. Well, in terms of the bigger picture, Jordy, Pompey sitting pretty at third place at the minute. Are you daring to believe? Can you foresee you going to League One grounds next season?
I keep saying it, don't I? I can't handle going to Morecambe and Atkinson again. Sorry, Morecambe and Atkinson and Hartlepool. Sorry, this weekend. This will be picked up now by Hartlepool, won't it? And probably pinned on the dressing room board. But it's there for Pompey's to lose. And as much as Pompey's form gives you confidence, what cements it is that people around them aren't going with them. I mean, 6 point the gap now. I think with Plymouth, that was a big win for Plymouth yesterday. That moves them away as well. And I think we were talking about it before we came on up in the office, weren't we? About how it shapes up. If that's 1, 2, 3 now, Pompey get in there, they're third place. Obviously, you're going to be delighted with that. And Carlisle, what was the form? I think they haven't
won since Pompey.
Won since Pompey. And Luton have got 1 win in 8, and Luton were the team that I probably feared the most, actually. So there are teams doing bits and pieces, but I mean, if Stephen's drawn at the weekend, you think if they were to continue what they did, fair play to them. But I just can't see them maintaining it. I don't think they've got the depth, and they're going to hit a wall at some stage. So.
And Pompey would need to have relegation for.
It's just like. You go to Hartlepool this weekend and you think, that's the point. You don't even need a victory really there to sustain it. I don't even think it may not even be 80 points. Obviously, that's the landmark you're talking about. And if you're talking 2 points a game, you now sort of had 14 onto where they are, then they're well and truly there. Pompey capable of doing that. Might not even need to.
You look at Luton are 8 points behind Pompey, as are Blackpool. Now, for them to even draw level with Pompey, they need to win 3 games. If you include Pompey's goal difference as winning worth a point, so effectively 9 points behind, they need to get 3 wins in a row and hope Pompey lose 3 in a row. So it's just how they're going to.
If they get 3 or 4 wins, it might even be 3 wins from 7, 4 wins, possibly
4
wins. 4 wins to get you over there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that would be enough.
So promotion, here we come.
Yeah. Okay, you're trying to put me. You're gonna kill me for that one. No, it's Pompey's to lose. There's lots of reason to be upbeat. You don't need to hit the phenomenal form of the Bristol Rovers and the Northamptons like last season to get there now. So I think it's Pompey's to have. Okay,
and Neil, finally with you, Mr. Takeover, yourself. Anything to add over the weekend or anything to get there?
No.
Happy days. Good.
No, they weren't at the ground, so still talks are ongoing, aren't they? So.
Okay. Thanks for the update.
What do we make something up? Do we make something up, shall I?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
There's lots to talk about.
As I say, they're in takeover talks.
I think
somebody dressed as Mickey Mouse went to the games. In seriousness, someone did actually.
I did see a tweet about that. Though,
yeah.
It amused me.
Obviously, there was all the buzz around the ground, and people were, fundamentally upbeat about it, aren't they? Did you gauge reaction from people?
People were just upbeat about it, but it was just all about the game, wasn't it, Saturday? There was no. The prospective owners weren't present and everyone was watching the match, and that's the importance, wasn't it?
Okay, well, thank you very much for your thoughts, Jordy. You were a star. You were the sidekick on this occasion.
Thank you. I like your clubber, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. I like yours too. Neil. Forget about it. Welcome to Pompey Talk. No, goodbye from Pompey Talk.
We'll see you all again soon. He's all over the place.